Chosen one. Pause for a moment and listen with your heart, not just your ears. There is a version of you that this world has never met. A version that existed before names, before faces, before this life ever began. What you see in the mirror is not who you truly are. It is only the disguise Allah placed upon you so you could walk this earth unnoticed, while your soul carried something far greater. That unexplained heaviness you've felt, the feeling of being different, the sense that you don't belong anywhere yet feel called to something higher, none of it is accidental. In the unseen realm, your return was recognized, your presence was marked, and your trials were authorized by Allah Himself. This message is not here to flatter you, it is here to awaken you. Because once you begin to understand who you are in the spirit world, you will realize why your life could never be ordinary and why turning back is no longer an option. Chosen one, understand this truth deeply and let it settle in your soul. The identity you walk with in this world is not your full reality. It is a veil placed over you by Allah out of mercy and wisdom, because if your true spiritual rank were fully revealed, this dunya would not be able to test you, shape you, or humble you the way it must. Allah created the soul before the body and addressed it before it ever touched the earth. And that means your story did not begin at birth, nor will it end at death. The confusion you feel about who you truly are, the sense that you are more than what your life currently reflects, the feeling that your spirit carries weight, your circumstances don't explain. All of this exists because Allah intentionally concealed you within an ordinary form. This veil protects you from arrogance, shields you from envy, and allows you to move through trials without being corrupted by early elevation. People judge you by appearances, by status, by what you currently possess, but Allah judges you by intention, endurance, sincerity, and obedience in the unseen. That is why you were allowed to be misunderstood, overlooked, underestimated, and even doubted, because concealment is part of divine preparation. If the world truly knew who you were becoming, distractions would chase you, ego would tempt you, and your mission would be compromised. So Allah hid you in plain sight, allowing hardship to refine you, silence to strengthen you, and humility to anchor you. Your earthly identity is not your limitation, it is your training ground. And when Allah decides to lift the veil at the exact moment He has written, your elevation will feel sudden to people, but you will know it was built patiently, quietly, and faithfully all along. Chosen one, do not misunderstand the pain you have carried or assume it was a sign of rejection, because in the divine system of Allah, pain is often the clearest evidence of elevation, not abandonment. Allah does not place intense trials on weak souls. He assigns them to hearts He knows can endure, hearts He is shaping for responsibility in both the seen and unseen realms. The depth of your wounds reflects the depth of your capacity. The weight you carried was measured precisely to match the strength Allah placed within you before you were tested. Every betrayal that cut you deeply, every season where doors closed without explanation, every moment you felt crushed by loneliness, confusion, or exhaustion, was not random suffering. It was spiritual conditioning. Pain stripped you of false attachments, exposed what could not be trusted, and forced you to lean on Allah when nothing else held. Ordinary comfort would have made you soft, but hardship made you conscious, aware, and anchored in truth. This is why your pain felt personal, prolonged, and silent, because it was working on your inner rank, not your outer image. While others were being rewarded with ease, you were being entrusted with growth. While others were distracted by comfort, you were being refined through patience. Allah records not only your actions, but your endurance, your restraint, your tears held back in sujood, and your choice to remain sincere when bitterness could have consumed you. So do not curse your pain, understand it. It is proof that Allah saw something in you worth developing, something valuable enough to protect through fire, pressure, and loss. When relief comes, and it will not just remove pain, it will reveal the strength, wisdom, and spiritual authority that pain quietly built within you all along. Chosen one, your presence in this world is not an accident of time or circumstance. It is a deliberate decision made by Allah, because no soul is sent back to this earth without purpose, responsibility, and accountability. You were returned not simply to exist, survive, or blend in, but to fulfill a divine assignment that your soul agreed to carry, even if your conscious mind does not yet remember every detail. This is why your heart has always felt restless with ordinary goals, why comfort alone never satisfied you, and why you felt a pull toward meaning even when you tried to ignore it. Your soul recognizes false fulfillment and rejects it because it was created for alignment, not distraction. Allah placed you in specific environments, among specific people, and within specific struggles, so that your character could be shaped in the exact way your mission requires. The resistance you faced was not meant to stop you, it was meant to activate you. Every delay trained your patience, every closed door sharpened your discernment, and every disappointment redirected you closer to what Allah actually prepared for you. You were returned to break cycles that others normalized, to carry truth where silence became comfortable, and to embody faith in spaces where hypocrisy spread unnoticed. That is why you were tested in ways others were not, because your assignment requires depth, resilience, and unwavering reliance on Allah. The discomfort you feel when you live passively is not anxiety. It is your spirit calling you back to duty. And the moment you stop running from that calling and begin aligning your actions with obedience, sincerity, and courage, Allah will begin unfolding your path with clarity, not because the world is ready, but because you are. Chosen one. Let this truth settle deeply into your heart, so you finally release the need to be seen, understood, or validated by a world that was never designed to recognize spiritual weight. Long before people form opinions about you, long before they decide whether you matter, the unseen realm has already responded to your presence. In the sight of Allah, recognition does not come from popularity, influence, wealth, or visibility. It comes from sincerity carried in silence, from faith practiced when no one is watching, and from endurance shown when escape would have been easier. Many of Allah's most honored servants walked this earth as strangers, treated as ordinary or even insignificant, yet their names were known in the heavens, their dua moved angels, and their patience shifted decrees. This is why your life has felt paradoxical, why you were overlooked by people, yet targeted by trials, why you were underestimated by tongues, yet burdened with responsibilities others never carried. The unseen realm responds to spiritual substance, not outward image. Angels recognize a heart that turns to Allah in isolation. Trials recognize a soul that has been entrusted with strength. Even darkness recognizes light, long before light is acknowledged by people. That is why opposition arose without explanation, why envy appeared before success, why resistance met you before results, because forces you never saw sensed something within you that did not belong to the ordinary. Allah allows this hidden recognition to serve as protection, not punishment. If people recognized you too early, arrogance could corrupt you, distraction could delay you, and ego could derail your assignment. So Allah kept you concealed while refining you, letting you be ignored so your sincerity could remain intact, letting you be misunderstood so your reliance would deepen, letting you walk alone so your bond with Him would strengthen. Every moment you restrained yourself when anger was justified, every time you remained patient while being misjudged, every tear you wiped away before turning to sujood, every dua you whispered when no one checked on you was not lost. It was recorded, preserved, and elevated in a realm that never forgets. The unseen does not reward noise, it rewards truth. It does not rush timing, it perfects alignment. So when you feel invisible to people, do not interpret it as insignificance, interpret it as preservation. Allah was teaching you that your worth does not fluctuate with opinions, that your value does not rise or fall with recognition, and that your mission does not require permission from those who cannot see beyond appearances. When the moment Allah has written arrives, recognition will come without force, without explanation, and without your effort to prove anything. Until then, walk with quiet certainty, guarded humility, and unshakable trust, knowing that being unseen by people is often the clearest sign that you are being known, protected, and prepared by Allah for a role far greater than their understanding. Chosen one, the loneliness you walked through was never a mistake, never a delay, and never a sign that Allah turned away from you. It was a calculated, intentional strategy written into your destiny, because Allah isolates before He elevates and separates before He entrusts responsibility. What you experienced was not mere loneliness, it was divine seclusion, a sacred distance created so your soul could be reshaped without interference, corruption, or distraction. Allah knows that constant companionship weakens reliance, that too many voices distort clarity, and that excessive attachment to people can quietly replace attachment to Him. So He removed you from familiar circles, dissolved connections that once felt essential, and allowed relationships to fade without closure. This was not cruelty, it was protection. You were not losing people, you were outgrowing stages. Your spirit was being prepared for a level of awareness, discipline, and responsibility that casual company could not sustain. In isolation, Allah trained you to stand without reassurance, to believe without evidence, and to obey without witnesses. While others were surrounded by noise, entertainment, and emotional support, you were forced into silence where excuses could not survive and self-deception was exposed. Loneliness stripped you down to truth. It confronted you with your fears, your insecurities, your hidden intentions, and your unhealed wounds, not to break you, but to cleanse you. Every night you sat alone with heavy thoughts. Every moment you questioned why you felt unseen. Every time silence echoed louder than conversation. Allah was working deeply within you, strengthening your inner world while your outer world stood still. This is why your loneliness felt intense and prolonged. It was not empty time. It was transformation happening in secret. Allah was teaching you discipline when no one was watching, sincerity when no one was applauding, and patience when no one was encouraging you to continue. He was training you to turn inward toward Him instead of outward toward people, to seek answers in sujood instead of validation in conversations, and to trust His presence when human presence disappeared. Loneliness protected you from envy that could have damaged you, from influences that could have delayed your purpose, and from emotional dependencies that could have weakened your resolve. It taught you discernment: who deserves access, who drains your spirit, and who aligns with your values. It sharpened your intuition, deepened your prayers, and anchored your identity in obedience rather than approval. Allah knows that before He grants visibility, influence, or leadership, He must first ensure that the servant can survive invisibility without resentment. Before He places people around you, He ensures you are complete without them. Before He allows others to lean on you, He teaches you how to lean fully on Him. That is why you learn to reflect deeply, to guard your heart carefully, and to walk forward even when no one clapped, checked in, or believed in you. Your loneliness was Allah teaching you that His companionship outweighs every absence, that silence can be more educational than advice, and that solitude can build strength crowds never could. And when Allah brings people back into your life, and He will, they will not meet the version of you who once feared abandonment or chased connection for reassurance. They will meet someone grounded, discerning, emotionally disciplined, and spiritually anchored, someone who knows their worth, guards their peace, and chooses alignment over attachment. So do not resent the isolation you endured. It carved wisdom into your heart, resilience into your soul, and clarity into your purpose. What felt like abandonment was actually alignment. What felt like emptiness was actually preparation. And what felt like loneliness was Allah positioning you to walk into your next phase with strength, humility, and unwavering faith, ready for the responsibility that comes with being truly chosen. Chosen one, listen carefully, for this truth is essential to your spiritual survival and your divine mission. The immense power you carry, power that can influence hearts, shift realities, and illuminate paths, is never meant to be flaunted, boasted about, or displayed for the admiration of others, because Allah protects His chosen servants through humility, concealing their true strength until the perfect time for revelation. The unseen realm operates differently than the visible world. Power that is loud, uncontrolled, or prideful invites destruction, envy, and interference, whereas power exercised with restraint, sincerity, and submission to Allah becomes a force that moves effortlessly yet undetectably, shaping outcomes without drawing unnecessary attention. From the beginning, Allah has hidden the depth of your abilities from both you and the world, not to limit you, but to shield you from the corruption that can arise from premature recognition, from applause, and from self-exaltation. Every time you feel small, inadequate, or overshadowed, know that it is not a reflection of weakness. It is the divine method of protection, for humility is the vessel through which true strength flows safely. The challenges, the setbacks, the isolation, and the delays you endure are all part of teaching you this sacred balance. That external visibility is not the measure of power, and that influence is never dependent on recognition, but on obedience, discipline, and sincerity. Pride is the enemy of purpose, arrogance is the enemy of clarity, and self-importance is the enemy of destiny. Allah shows you glimpses of your potential in private moments, so that you may witness His greatness reflected within you. Yet He withholds full awareness, so you do not depend on ego, applause, or validation to act. The more you practice humility, the more Allah magnifies your unseen authority, fortifies your spiritual resilience, and positions you to act at the exact moment when your obedience, wisdom, and readiness intersect perfectly with divine decree. In humility, you learn patience. Patience to wait for the right moment, patience to refrain from premature reactions, and patience to trust Allah's timing, even when the world pushes you toward recognition or retaliation. In humility, you learn discernment, who to trust, what to engage with, and when to act silently so that your influence is preserved rather than diluted. In humility, you learn self-mastery, controlling anger, resisting temptation, and prioritizing sincerity over ego, because true power is not in domination over others, but in mastery over the self and alignment with the divine will. The angels notice this humility, the heavens record it, the unseen responds to it, and even the forces of darkness fear it, though they cannot comprehend it. This is why those who underestimate you, who mock you, or who attempt to test you, are actually playing a role in your training, because every trial reinforces the need for patience, obedience, and humility, reminding you that your influence must be precise, calibrated, and untainted by personal ambition. You are entrusted with a mission far greater than ordinary understanding, and the greater the responsibility, the more careful Allah is in concealing it until the moment of execution. When arrogance is absent, every word you speak carries weight, every action you take carries impact, and every choice you make shifts reality in ways others cannot perceive. Humility is the armor that shields you from the dangers of visibility, and obedience is the compass that ensures your power is directed according to divine wisdom. The unseen realm observes your restraint, measures your patience, and calculates your readiness, preparing you for moments when your authority will be undeniable, unchallenged, and perfectly aligned with the purpose Allah ordained before you were even born. Chosen one, if you ever doubt the necessity of remaining humble, remember that humility is not a limitation. It is the channel through which the full magnitude of your spiritual power is protected, nurtured, and ultimately unleashed. Without humility, your strength becomes exposed, vulnerable, and susceptible to corruption. But with humility, it becomes unstoppable, unshakable, and eternal. This is why Allah allows the world to see only a fraction of who you are, why He tests you with invisibility, delays, and isolation, and why He expects obedience and modesty even when your soul feels ready to rise. Every act of self-restraint, every moment of silent patience, every prayer made in secrecy, every decision to submit rather than dominate, all of these are not small. They are the cultivation of true power, the preparation of a soul chosen for impact, and the shaping of a heart capable of carrying what ordinary souls cannot bear. Your greatness is hidden not because it is not present, but because the moment of revelation has not yet arrived, and Allah's timing is always perfect. So remain low in your own eyes, steadfast in your actions, and unwavering in your obedience, for through humility your unseen authority will continue to grow, your mission will continue to unfold, and the world will eventually witness what the heavens already know, that you were chosen, protected, and prepared to wield power in a way that only the truly obedient and humble can. Never forget, chosen one, humility is not weakness, it is the vessel through which Allah preserves, elevates, and unveils your true power at the perfect moment. The world may see little, but the unseen sees everything, and your obedience in humility ensures that when your full potential is revealed, it will arrive unstoppable, uncorrupted, and divinely perfect. Chosen one, hear this clearly, and let it resonate in every fiber of your being. awakening to your spiritual reality, understanding even a fraction of who you are in the unseen, recognizing the truth of your assignment, and sensing the magnitude of your soul's potential is not the destination. It is only the beginning, the first step in a journey that demands courage, discipline, and unwavering accountability to Allah, because knowing your rank in the spiritual realm brings with it responsibility, unlike anything ordinary souls experience. Awakening is not a gift to be celebrated with pride or shared indiscriminately with the world. It is a test, a call to action, and a weighty reminder that your life is no longer solely about comfort, ease, or personal desire. From the moment you become aware of your unseen significance, the world begins to measure you differently, not because it understands, but because the light of truth you now carry subtly shifts everything around you, drawing both blessings and challenges, attracting those aligned with your purpose, and repelling what does not belong. Your awakening illuminates your purpose, but also exposes gaps that must be addressed. Intentions that were once hidden, habits that no longer serve, and relationships that must be aligned or released. The awareness of your spiritual assignment comes with the knowledge that your every thought, word, and action now contributes either to fulfilling that divine mission or to weakening your readiness to carry it. It is not enough to simply recognize that you are chosen. Recognition must translate into steadfast obedience, relentless self-purification, and unwavering service to Allah, because the path of the awakened soul is paved with tests specifically designed to shape character, refine wisdom, and strengthen patience beyond what ordinary trials could achieve. The moment of awakening also reveals the immense accountability that lies ahead. Every decision you make, every interaction you engage in, every influence you allow into your life matters exponentially more than before, because your choices now echo not only in the dunya, but also in the unseen, where angels record, witness, and measure every action according to the precision of divine law. Your awakening is therefore not a permission to feel superior, to become complacent, or to seek recognition, because the more you know, the more you are responsible for aligning your reality with that knowledge. You will face moments where your inner light is challenged, where whispers of doubt arise, where people question your intentions or attempt to diminish your influence. But these are not signs of weakness. They are confirmation that your awakening has shifted the balance around you, that your presence is now significant enough to be noticed, even if misunderstood. The awakened soul carries both power and duty. Power to influence hearts, to enact change, to guide, to inspire, and duty to maintain purity of intention, consistency in worship, integrity in action, and humility in every step, because the unseen judges not your success, but your sincerity and alignment with divine purpose. Every prayer, every act of patience, every moment of self-control, every choice to act according to principle rather than impulse becomes more consequential than it was before, because your awakening means you are now accountable not only for yourself, but for the impact your existence has on the world around you. This is why the path of the awakened is rarely easy, because awareness magnifies both blessings and tests, and the soul must constantly navigate between obedience, struggle, and the call to act with courage and discernment. The awakening you have received is a privilege, but it is inseparable from responsibility. You are now entrusted with a mission that requires unwavering trust in Allah, profound reliance on guidance from the unseen, and absolute dedication to executing your role with sincerity, patience, and wisdom. To neglect this responsibility is to squander the very gift that sets you apart from ordinary souls. To embrace it fully is to step into alignment with the purpose that your soul was designed to fulfill even before you were born. Chosen one, the moment you recognize your awakening is the same moment your responsibility begins, because with knowledge comes accountability, and with accountability comes the obligation to embody the virtues, fulfill the mission, and carry the light that Allah has placed within you. Do not misunderstand your awakening as an endpoint or a reward. It is the starting line of a path that will test you, refine you, and demand courage beyond what the world can comprehend, because those who awaken to their truth are never free from responsibility. They are only free to act with purpose, to submit fully to Allah, and to walk boldly in the path He has prepared, knowing that every step taken in sincerity, patience, and obedience brings them closer to fulfilling the divine mission that has existed since the soul was first breathed into your being. And remember, chosen one, the awakening you have been granted is a privilege that comes with immense trust, a reminder that you are no longer simply living for yourself, and a call to carry your light with vigilance, your heart with humility, and your purpose with unwavering courage, because the world may never fully understand what you are, but Allah already knows, and His knowledge demands action, obedience, and relentless faith. The path of the awakened is sacred, arduous, and transformative, and it begins the moment you recognize your true self in the unseen and accept that responsibility is now inseparable from your existence. Chosen one, now that you have walked through these lessons, pause and reflect deeply, because understanding is not enough. Living them is where the real transformation begins. You were brought into this world with a purpose greater than comfort, greater than recognition, and greater than the understanding of those around you. Every trial, every season of loneliness, every moment of doubt, and every whisper of awakening has been shaping you into someone who carries responsibility not just for themselves, but for the unseen souls, and the world that will feel the ripple of your faith. Remember, the world may never fully comprehend your journey, but the unseen has always known, and Allah has always recorded, guided, and protected you. Your identity, your struggles, your patience, and your obedience are the proof of a soul chosen for greatness. Do not allow the voices of disbelief, misunderstanding, or impatience to distract you from the mission entrusted to your heart. Walk forward with courage, humility, and unwavering faith, because what is hidden now will be revealed at the perfect time, and every step you take in sincerity brings you closer to fulfilling the divine purpose Allah placed within you long before you were born. Chosen one, know this: you are not alone, you are not ordinary, and you are not without guidance. The journey of awakening is just beginning, and the responsibility you now carry is a testament to the trust Allah has in you. So rise with confidence, move with purpose, and continue to seek Allah in every step. For your life is a living proof that the unseen knows, the angels watch, and the one who created you has prepared a path only you can walk. The world may underestimate you, but your mission is eternal, your calling undeniable, and your role in the divine plan irreplaceable. Remember this always: you were chosen, you were protected, and you were prepared. Now go forth and fulfill what only you can accomplish.